put it today. Okay, anarchy, all the stuff to talk about. You guys, I get a lot of talk from a lot of you about Ralph being an anarchist, and which is really kind of interesting to me, because anarchy means a lack of cohesion, no clear set of rules, no clear set of direction, no clear central core of people doing things in the right way for people in the form of governing, protecting, and management of the resources and rules that make humanity deal well with each other. If you sit down and think about it and look at our world right now, what do we have? We're fighting over the resources. We can't make up our mind. We don't have any clear decision or direction on how to humanely deal with one another. Anarchy is what you have right now, y'all. Okay, I'm an anti-anarchist. Like I told everybody, man, the kids that when I was young, when I was one of the younger kids and back in SV, man. What is it? Well, I'm a coolest anti-assholist. There's my isms. Coolism and anti-assholism. Those are my two isms. How you like that? How you like me now? But anarchist, no, I'm not a fascist. I'm not an anarchist. I'm not anything like that. I believe we need to be in different groups and settings and the sects and the tribes for a reason, to help balance us. I believe we'll have different sort of borders and countries and representations as far as still, like, I guess you could call them states, countries, whatever you want to call them. Whatever words you want to put, whatever floats your boat. Don't bother me. But you do need separate forms, like local forms of government. That was Iraq, this is Egypt, this is the United States, that's Mexico. You have different forms where the culture behaves differently, and there are different cultural norms, and that's normal, it's life. If you don't like the cultural norms, you could move somewhere else. I like the cultural norms in the Southwest, and I like the culture mix and everything like that. And I like northern Mexico, southern Arizona, southern New Mexico, the Panhandle of Texas. Not the Panhandle. I do like Panhandle of Texas. It's crazy. I like cowboys, but the Rio Grande River Valley and stuff like that. I like that. I like that kind of culture. It's what I was raised in. It's something I feel very comfortable in, and the culture is very acceptable to me. A lot of the macho crap with the men is very unacceptable, but it's not just unacceptable to me. It's unacceptable to locals, and I think it's unacceptable to most of the men as well. I think they want help with a lot of their machoism, and I think as men we can all get together and say, hey, dude, man, hey, girl, just stop that, Well, what if that's different. She's beating up my kid. And you ask her to stop. She don't stop. There's no woman around to smack her. You smack her hard. Don't hit the children like that. Stop it, we don't teach our kids to be intelligent and nonviolent by violently beating the crap out of them. It just don't make much sense, y'all. Sometimes it works when they keep doing it, and then you finally show them, I can be more violent than you. My poor kids, man, a couple of times they were violent to one another. One, she was hitting her pregnant mom. And it was on a pile of clothes by a couch, but I put my hand in the back of her head and did like a Shaq did Greg Ostertag. Whoop! And it's a shock to the system when someone completely lifts you off your feet and knocks you down to the floor. It's a whoa. He has ability to really rock my world if he wants to, and that's what he's trying to tell you. This unborn child doesn't have that ability. You got to protect them. So you have to really watch your abilities and your ability to enforce and inflict violence. It's a very substantial thing. You can end up killing somebody. So you want to be very intelligent in the way that you deal with things and try not to be as non-violent as possible. Understood? So I love you guys very much, all right? Anarchist, Ralph said anarchist. Anarchy. I got your anarchy right here. I'm going to knock you into anarchy. We have anarchy now. Unification doesn't mean we all have to be in the same house. It means that, and it's a good idea to have different rules and regulations and things set up to some certain degree to manage your environment so people don't push in on everything and disrespect your boundaries and we have boundaries and your norms and your laws and things that you held a little bit more dear than the next person does. But we can come to a very close cohesion, and if people in one area are being unjust and unkind, people that might be persecuted might need a place to go. and that's happened a lot in our history. You know, when one man was having trouble with the southern portion of his kingdom and his son was being manipulated, he had to go north to get help from the people in the north. And it happens. And then when he made friends with the north, and then he solves the problems in the south, people in the north get mad. They're like, well, now you're friends with him again? And it's like, well, yeah, he's not being manipulated and breaking the rules anymore. They're not doing that, so I'm now going to be friends with them again. You can't do that. Yes, we can. We have to try to be friends. It's a wise decision. You don't want to keep an enemy on your side. You want to have as many friends around you as you can. And you don't want to make enemies. You want to build bridges and not walls, like my mom said, you know. So everybody, anarchy. Anarchy is value and false values. Anarchy is misplacement of justice and values, and that's what we have now. We start valuing life, love, and make our markets something more tangible instead of instead of having your markets crash because you're going to irrationalize and everybody's going to see the irrational value of all your values. Why not just sit down and try to cleanse them, clean them yourself? Forgive debts. I mean, it's all through the books. It's always told to the kings. Forgive debts, have the people come in, give them some cattle, do this and that, set them down, tell them to manage better, and go on and be good. And if you practice your laws and your worship that we gave you, you'll handle them much better, and you'll manage much better, and you'll be a lot better together. And so please go forth and do this. Do not party too much in excess. Do not be opulent, or you'll waste and mismanage your resources. Love you. All right? It's all through. It's a very wonderful, unified, steady tradition, like that one guy that tried to convince me about it from his perspective of it. We have 4,000 years. It's actually closer to 6,000 years of tradition, of good tradition and stuff like that, but not in the way that you were speaking, because you had me convinced until you started saying that the whole problems in our society were on our new president and the homosexuals, and I was like, yeah, I don't think you get the tradition. I think I get the traditions a little bit better than you. I think the family works a little bit better through me than it does through you, brother. Sorry, I hate to tell you that. But one man who's not in charge, it's funny, the abilities you give him. This economy that he's made, it's like, oh, so the president runs Wall Street. I was not aware of that. Thanks for enlightening me. Oh, you people, president runs Wall Street. I did not know. And so they have a new guy winning Wall Street every 4 years, unless they vote him back in. I was not aware of that. You guys, thanks for enlightening me. Love you, all right?